Hi, this is Jim Starkweather with the KitMaker Network, and welcome to another episode of Cracking the Box. Today we've got a Tiran 5 from Tamiya. This kit's fairly new. It came out, I think, the first quarter of this year, 2013. The kit is Tamiya number 35328, so that's a 35th scale kit, for those of you who know their numbering system. And this one is obviously a kit very familiar to a lot of modern builders. It is a Russian T54-55, which the Israelis took obviously as their own and converted with some slight modifications and so forth. So this kit is going to be very similar, obviously, to a T54-55 with those Israeli markings and Israeli modifications. But we'll go ahead and take a look at those at close up. We'll go ahead and do an unboxing. But first, let's do a little history of the tank and maybe some kind of cool photography. And then we'll move on to some close-up photos of the internal parts, and then we'll wrap up. So for those of you who want to skip ahead to a particular portion, you can, but stay tuned for a little history.
During the 1967 Six-Day War in the Middle East, Israel managed to capture quite a few Soviet T-54 and T-55 main battle tanks. There was demand for more tanks than they could purchase at that time, so they decided to adapt these tanks for IDF use. Initially, the modifications were simple. They replaced things like the radio, machine guns, jerry can racks, and other storage parts. But eventually they decided to replace the Soviet 100mm main gun with an M68 105mm gun. This allowed them to not have to worry about using captured ammunition, and also upgraded the gun to one with higher combat effectiveness. A swing mount for the central machine gun, 60mm mortar mount on the commander's cupola, and a remotely operated 12.7mm machine gun on the top of the gun mantlet were also added. A stowage box on the right side of the turret was added, which helped identify the tank from its Soviet counterparts. Overall, the tank performed very well during the Yom Kippur War of 1973. The tank stayed in service until the early 1980s, some being sold and others were converted into the Ageret heavy APCs.
Okay, let's go ahead and unbox the kit now. And basically on the inside, what we get are, here's this first sprue with the nice one-piece top turret and some nice texturing I can see on the turret already. It does include two figures on this sprue, both tankers with helmets and so forth. And some of the turret rings and hatches look very nice. This next sprue has some of the gas tanks, some of the armaments, 30 cals, 50 cals, and looks good too. This is the top hull, and that looks pretty nice. Nice grill detail, nice see-through grill. And the lower hull, it's also very nicely detailed on the bottom. Don't see any maker's marks, nothing. I mean, it's basically nice and clean. And that looks very nice. And here's the two sprues on this one with the road wheels and some of the drive sprockets and idler wheels and so forth, and the gas containers, the rear gas containers. Very nice. And here's the main gun barrels with other gun mantlets and detailed parts here. Looks very nice too. And then finally we get this large sprue with, again, some of the storage and top hull areas. We get another driver figure or commander figure maybe on that one. And that looks nice as well. Very crisp, clear, clean quality parts. We've got rubber track links, obviously. Look pretty nice. Again, we'll get some close-up photos of those. All these parts you'll see close up in just a minute. And this has got some mesh with some rope for tow cable and some little rubber grommet parts here for the suspension. Small decal set, which again get a closer look at in a little bit. This one includes a Tiran 5 kind of historical reference here, it looks like, in Japanese, I think Chinese and English, and maybe a bunch of different languages, German. And then we have the actual manual, which I'll just flip through really quickly. Obviously, Tamiya is pretty well known for their quality manuals and instructions. All looks very nice. Looks like it goes together pretty simply. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say this is an overly complex kit. So it looks like for those of you intermediate builders, I mean, it's going to be a pretty simple. I'm trying to get this up, and it's part of the box. No, it won't come up. So that's it for what's in the box. Let's go ahead and take a close-up look at some of the actual plastique, shall we? Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed those photos and a little bit of brief history on the tank. We'll try to do that on some future items as well if you guys like that, so let me know in the comment section if you appreciate getting that history bit. And we'd like to thank Tamiya USA for providing us with this Tiran 5 sample. We are looking for someone to do a full build of this, either as a review or maybe as a build feature, so if you're interested, please contact me and let us know. Thanks again for watching, and hope you have a good one.